in the fires of hope and prayer.
With boundless faith in our destiny,
We solemnly declare.
Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea. This our native land. We pledge our lives to thee.
Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place.
And may God bless our nation.
Good morning. Welcome to Breaking Dawn.
All right, people, so good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. It is Wednesday, and this being Wednesday morning, this is our last show for 2025 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You want to, say we'll give thanks and everything coming on to the end. We do have Pastor John this morning, as is usually scheduled, but I have preempted the police segment because yesterday was the Mardi Gras, and we have a few things to cover there. And a couple other things to talk about as it relates to Vincy Mas 2025 before we close shop here, for Breaking Dawn. We also have a few things we'll talk about. The Minister of Tourism, Trade and Industry, Kama Maraj, said something in Parliament on July the 1st that about 8 days ago that I'd only picked up on last night. And remember, we left on the 2nd. And when we left on the 2nd, it was all about, preparing the show and broadcasting from St. Vincent and Grenadines, things like that, and covering the carnival. So I missed a couple things, but I caught up yesterday, and he said something during his contribution in the Parliament. I'll get to that after the first break. The media did catch up. I see Akash Samaru from Guardian Media caught up with Prime Minister of St. Vincent and Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, at the CARICOM meeting. And, Prime Minister Gonsalves spoke about Modi's visit to Trinidad and how welcoming that was. And it's good to see our Prime Minister welcome him there and give him an award and so on and so forth. And he spoke about the partnership. We are all as CARICOM, all as part of CARICOM, partners with India and so on and so forth. It's the largest democracy in the world. And therefore, like I've been saying all along, except for the few ignorant people who in Trinidad and Tobago try to turn things in a particular direction because they don't do their research, you understand? And trying to race bait people and all kind of nonsense. The kind of words I want to use as it relates to that video, I just won't use it this morning. All right, I will keep my calm and keep my cool. But it was interesting to hear what he had to say. He did say he was disappointed. He didn't get to meet her at the CARICOM summit meeting, but those meetings will be in the making in the future. All right. There is a very interesting clip of me circulating on TikTok. We'll get to that later on as well. All right? Nice. So, the first thing we want to get to this morning is, of course, the Newsday. And Chris, I sure sent something else to you that I can't remember right now. I sure, but I just can't remember what it is right now. Is the Saddam clip? Oh, yes, but we'll get to that in the Newsday. But we'll put it up in the Newsday when I get to that. But I think it's a Saddam clip, but we'll leave that alone. We didn't deal with that this morning. All right, but Newsday this morning, tutor tells THA, majority of Tobago students not progressing. Okay? But that is the case, if you ask me, if you have less than 3% of students who are taking SEA, scoring over 90%, you're talking about less than 3%, if I'm not mistaken from what I read earlier this week. We can't be progressing. And of course, they put a wide blanket over this huge percentage of students that scored over 50%. But as it relates to who scored 51 to 60, or 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, we don't have a breakdown of that. So we don't know if, let's say, out of 50% of students scoring over 50% in the SEA, if 35% of that is between 50 and 60. So we really don't know. So we can't assess it properly. But I think, look, I keep saying it. I won't stick and take much time on this. You need to fix the education system. 2 charges for Martin George in sexual offense case. Kamala Dear's leadership challengers. Come and take it. The UNC internal elections are due, and the Prime Minister and political leader of the UNC did put out a challenge to anybody that would like to contest. And listen, I don't see anybody doing it. If Kamla Prasad Bisesa could have won the vote of the membership, having lost a general election, she's not going to lose the leadership of the UNC having won and being the current Prime Minister. I think this is going to be somewhat like the PNM, where there's going to be no contest. She's going to be uncontested, and that's how it's going to be. And why not? Because she's in it's full steam ahead. It looked like, you know what I mean? Kangaloo on public criticism. She says, "I'm a target because I'm a woman." I don't know what the public criticism is, but let me just open the article and take a little read. President Christine Kangaloo is questioning whether or not she would be as harshly criticized as she is if she were a man. Speaking at the opening of the Arthur Lockjack Global School of Business Women in Leadership Conference on July 8th, she listed some of the attacks on her since she became president, including the questioning of independent senators because they were appointed by her. What else has she been criticized for besides that? There's no. I'm waiting to see if it's just a senator thing. So you think it's because you're a woman? No amount of facts seem to matter to them. It makes no difference that I had given up active politics for a full 7 years before I was elected president. Move from being a cabinet minister, makes no difference in any event and constitution. Listen, you see all this rubbish you're talking here about, if you was a woman and you're a woman and well, you know what? Let's just say your argument holds water. Not once have I ever heard you bring up that issue when Kamla Prasad Bisesa was Prime Minister in her first term and was critiqued for even what she wore. If the woman wear a dress and it knee-high, she used to get criticized. I remember she walked out on stage, I think it was in a Nike, a gold Nike a year during Carnival on a stage. She get criticized for that too. Every little thing the woman get criticized for. Oh God, well, don't even talk about drinking. If she take a little drink, she get criticized. The the leader of the PNM and the former prime minister, well, the former, and all of them used to push this narrative, but the woman is a drunkard. Every time, and people used to be posting things if she take a drink. But and when you have shots of men taking a drink, none of them are criticized. But Kamla Prasad Bisesa would have been criticized, although I have never seen her take a drink. I don't dying to say that she don't take a little drink when she's ready, but I've never seen her with a drink in her hand. But I could pull up several pictures of men taking a knock like Keith Rowley and the former Prime Minister and many others. You understand? With drinks in their hand and at certain events and things like that, and they never get criticized for it. But my point is, in all the years that Kamla Prasad Bisesa, as a woman, as the first female Prime Minister, and I draw her as an example, right? Because you're talking about your office as president and you getting criticized because you're a woman. Not once have I ever heard you utter anything like that, that maybe the Prime Minister is being criticized so because she's a woman. And if the Prime Minister was a man, that critique, I never, ever hear you open your mouth and talk any of that. But all of a sudden it's because she's a woman. Well, resign now. What I go tell you? I tell you, the kind of nonsense, I've opened the article. Let me move on. I'm in a good mood this morning. NGO says enforce anti-noise laws. Venezuelan age 23 drowns in Barrackpore Pond. Homeland Security Minister meets Jamaican counterpart. That's Roger Alexander, of course, meeting his Jamaican counterpart. You know, somebody told me a few weeks ago, like, Roger Alexander, they can't send him anywhere to deal with anything, and he can't talk, and he can't this, and he can't that, and I said to the person, I said, listen, when you are transitioning from one thing to the next, and he's been criticized in Parliament, of course, by Marvin Gonzalez, and he answered back and whatever. But it's as if people don't understand. When you are transitioning from one thing to the next, right? When you have been a police officer, as he has, for the large majority of his adult life, and now he's in the role of a government minister. So you transition from one thing to the next. How do you learn? Do you learn by not going out and get the experience? Because somebody messaged me and said, oh, they go send Roger Alexander. I said, but why not? How else is he going to learn? How else is he going to elevate himself? How else is he going to mature into that position, if I have to use those terms? How else? Well, then don't send your children to school and let them sit home and be, well, and then again, it's a homeschooling, but don't teach them nothing and see how they learn. You only learn if you grab the experience. You got to go out and get the experience of meeting your counterparts and so on and so forth from different parts of the world, having conversations, hearing the level of conversation, so that you learn, and then you go back now and you say, you absorb it, and you go back and you say, all right, and then you adjust yourself, and eventually you see people falling into these roles better and better and better as time goes by. But that's how you do it. I used to be on radio, I didn't used to be on TV. So if I didn't take the jump and say, well, here what's going on, because radio is hearing, TV is seeing, right? If I didn't take the jump from radio to TV because, and get trained and so on and so forth, and how you feel I learn on TV? It's just it was a May month end, coming down to the end of May, no real training or nothing, and Obi just throw me in the water and say swim, and just put me to put us on television. It was 4 of us. Roxy, Davy, myself, and Brandon. You understand? Went through a few dry runs and wherever the case might be, and started to make the adjustment. How long it take me to learn like posture and, I used to be scratching my face and all kinds of things. Nah, you can't do that on TV because I'm accustomed doing that. But listen, I still unconventional. I'm not a conventional. It's not a conventional show. It's unconventional. But at the end of the day, you don't learn until you're thrown in the water, and you have to throw people in deep water sometimes and say swim. So Roger Alexander will come into his own, man. Court dismisses challenge against state's seizure of monkey. Chambers support age increase for alcohol and gambling and ganja. Bar owners support alcohol age change but issue warning. Aventa rejects pharmaceutical cartel claims. Facts are opposite of the noise. The pharmaceutical cartel. I ain't had time to jump into that. One of the articles that was very interesting to me, the Sportsmax, Chris, if you could put this one up, right? And we'll get this out of the way because I want to come back to the clip with Kama Maraj, Minister Maraj. I saw this headline, Loop News closed and Sportsmax on August the 8th. So Digicel Group Limited has announced the immediate closure of its Digicel news platform, Loop News, and the planned wind down of its Sportsmax platform. In a statement sent to customers via email on July 8th, the company said it was moving away from consumer-facing content and deepening its focus on the enterprise market. While Sportsmax will broadcast for the final time on Friday, August 8th, the fan-favorite sports content that Caribbean viewers know and love will thereafter be available on another sports channel. Loop News will cease to operate as a news provider with immediate effect. Trend Media will continue to operate under Digicel Business and will double down on its ad tech and digital media management for brands. Now, saw this yesterday, and I was like, well, Loop News, maybe I could understand, because the way that the news is carried these days, if you're not constantly evolving your product, you're going to be left behind, especially with social media, WhatsApp. People get a lot of news via WhatsApp and is get it faster than the news could report it. So in terms of media, we all have to make certain adjustments to keep up with the time. But Sportsmax was a bit of a surprise for me because, I mean, all over the world, sports, is thriving. ESPN and all of these other sports networks are alive and well. Although, I mean, I can't compare ESPN to Sportsmax. It's two different levels. But I'm just saying, sports on the whole is something that don't die. Everybody's going to be, there will always be sports. There's always going to be Olympics, and there's always going to be a World Cup, and unless the World comes to the end or whatever, and a Euro Cup, and World Games, and cricket, and everything, right? Sports is a huge market. So I was kind of lost as to how why Sportsmax? But I guess they know, you know what I mean? Now they say some other channel will carry the sports, but it really brings into question to me, as I have been talking, like in Trinidad and Tobago, we have no dedicated sports network that really carries local or regional sport. And it is, and we I think we tend to, or maybe the facts are that we cannot compete with the English Premier League in terms of football and so on and so forth, and the Serie A and the Bundesliga and all these other leagues that capture people, La Liga, so on and so forth. But the secondary school football league, Sportsmax would carry that. And I think that gave some exposure to a lot of youths who playing in that league. I don't know who's going to be carrying it now, but I know Sportsmax used to carry it. So, I mean, look, sport is near and dear to my heart. I would really like to elevate, to see, sports in Trinidad and Tobago elevate. And one of the ways that you do that is that you gotta advertise these events to the public, let them know that an event is on, which we don't do in Trinidad and Tobago. On top of that, money needs to be, injected into sports in Trinidad and Tobago, not just from the standpoint of athletes writing to the Ministry of Sport and asking for assistance in terms of their expenses, and the ministry extending that to them, or a portion of it to them. But money is the greatest motivator in sport. So if we're going to continue to have, like, I enter the 5Ks, and my 5K is the highest paying 5K, right? But you have all of these big corporate entities that paying way less than me. People is telling me about that. The runners just talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? And they feel disrespected, right? But they will run in it because they're looking for money to survive. So they will run and they'll take that money and put it towards their gear and so on and so forth. But we had to elevate sport higher than that. And, it's the only way that we're going to get out of the crime situation that we're in. It is an avenue. I've always said that. And if we don't latch onto it soon and we just try to elevate the standard, we're going to be lost. I mean, just look at West Indies cricket as an example of what's going on there. You understand what I'm saying? You have Puran and these fellas, they might have the issues with the West Indies, but you have a fella like Puran who in his prime, who could say, look, I don't play international cricket and play 2020 IPL cricket. The IPL pays more. That is one of the factors. If I know as an athlete, I have X amount of time and then I had to retire, you understand? Then my time is now to make money. And if I had to make money to secure my future, then I had to take my chance in the leagues that actually paying money. You understand? But we don't have that facility in Trinidad and Tobago, and hence the reason why when youths come out of school, there is no interest in sports. And now you had the shutdown of Sportsmax, which I guess would have kind of, you know, as the local and, well, regional, well, let me not say local, but regional broadcaster, you know, it would have brought some level of encouragement to athletes to know that somebody is interested in covering what they do. So I guess we'll see where that goes with Sportsmax. But I was very, I was kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting that one. All right. So as we prepare to go to the first break, let me just give you some quick information here. And when we come back, we'll take a listen to Kama Mirage, because it was very interesting what he said in the context of where I am and what I'm here for. So the first thing we want to acknowledge is the Keolic range of products. That's right. And this is backed by science, over 900 scientific research and clinical trials, and it's made from the aged garlic extract. Now, you could try any one of the products in the Keolic range, and they include the Keolic Cleanse and Digestion, the Keolic Blood Pressure Health, the Keolic Cholesterol Health, Keolic Total Heart Health, the Keolic Circulation Health, and these are all proven to be effective in sustaining healthy levels, and all include the aged garlic extract formulation. You also have the Keo Green Powdered Drink Mix and the Keodophilus Probiotics. So you can pick it up, any one of the Keolic products, at pharmacies or health stores across the country. For more information, you could also WhatsApp 728-0338. That is 728-0338. I also want to remind you about elders. So I want to remind you that if you're not happy with your child's end of term results, don't worry, you can enroll them in Elders Vacation Bootcamp classes and get them serious about their education and improve those grades for the new school term. Also, Elders has the 8 weeks conversational Spanish class, and that is open to students who just finished SEA, Form 1 to 5 students and adults. So you can give them a call on 627-8642, or you can WhatsApp them on 715-5480. You could also visit them at 48A Pembroke Street in Port of Spain. All right, and finally, we are heading into the weekend here, and this weekend, you have Palm Star Promotions. That's right, it's the 4th Annual National Spelling and Vocabulary Challenge. July 12th is the date. Lowlands Mall is the place. And of course, primary school and homeschool children, standards 3 to 5, ages 9 to 12 plus, will be participating. Top school with the most entries and points will walk away with a desktop computer. There are also tablets, medals, and much more up for grabs. A Kotese Kotela dictionary is available at Charon's, and you're going to get 5% off. So you can check out Charon's in Tunapuna, Trin City, San Juan, or Diego Martin. And I tell you what, dress code is no uniforms. You could dress elegantly casual. And let's build that confidence one word at a time, only with Palm Star. And you could go to Palm Star Promotions online or call Auntie Esther at 471-2604 and get yourself registered, or for more details at this stage. All right, and with that, we're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we're going to take a listen to what the Tourism, Trade and Industry Minister had to say. Very interesting. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supplier of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsayn, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595 to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE, that is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
I'm looking for a magic for this disaster of a war.
You need a master plan.
A what?
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion. It stands up to our wicked sun and crazy rain. It shields against fading, protects against mildew, and is crack resistant. This paint so tough that it is tried and tested against British standards and formulated with European raw materials.
Kaleidoscope Weathermaster Exterior Latex Emulsion, the premium outdoor paint that protects and shields against fading. Available at hardware and Kaleidoscope color shops nationwide.
To strengthen your immune system, you need to nourish your body with foods rich in antioxidants. Exercise regularly and build your immunity with supportive nutrients. That's why the experts at Jameson created products for immune support made with pure ingredients. For 100 years, Jameson has helped take care of you and your family. At Jameson, your wellness will always be our goal. Jameson, here for your health.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal, is your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set to API standards. They offer a wide range of services in residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. So, give them a call at 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal, reinventing the standard of how we handle steel.
No time to waste this vacation. Join Elders Classes Vacation Bootcamp.
Our vacation program has a wide range of CSEC subjects. Also, this vacation, We have an 8 weeks conversational Spanish course. Tradition allows us at Elders to pass on what we know and what we love.
Drill them this vacation. No kicks. Join your batch.
All right, people, we're 28 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. I want to run you a little clip here with Minister of Tourism, Trade and Industry, Kama Maraj. It speaks to the economy. It speaks to tourism. And most interestingly, it speaks to Carnival. Take this in.
Of Trinidad and Tobago. We face business community that is frustrated and fatigued. They encounter barriers instead of bridges. Rather than fostering an ease of doing business, the environment has become one of difficulty, delay, and distrust. Investors, both foreign and domestic, have been quietly walking away. Mr. President, coming from the private sector, and I have been in business for over 4 decades, I was shocked to see the lethargy. We were told that pre-COVID, we had 2,000 yachts visiting our shores. Today, we have 300. We have met with one potential investor who could make a giant step towards diversifying the economy. Reported to us that for 3 years, no one would meet with them. They've been trying to get a meeting, a simple meeting. We have another investor who have been here for decades. I wouldn't call the name. Hiring hundreds of workers, paying taxes, earning foreign exchange. Yet you put a policy in place where you increase the fees that these people were paying for decades by 10 times, rendering their business unsustainable. We had to step in. Lever Brothers, a long-standing foreign direct investor and manufacturer, was neglected for years. They were ignored to the point that they shut down their manufacturing operations entirely, and they are not alone. Do you know what it takes to get a foreign investor? A foreign investor is gold, and you have to treat them as such. ArcelorMittal, one of the largest non-energy manufacturers and exporters in Trinidad and Tobago, and a major foreign exchange earner, was driven out of his country. The previous administration outright refused to meet with them to address their concerns. As a result, we lost hundreds of jobs, millions in annual foreign exchange earnings, and one of the most significant contributors to our non-energy economy. The government of the day told the country Petrotrin was hemorrhaging losses. But I have reviewed the 2018 audited accounts. The company was still generating foreign exchange and meeting its debts. Let me be clear. The story that was told to the population was not one of financial necessity. It was one of political expediency. A fraud, in the purest economic sense, was committed on the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and we are still paying the price today. This is a legacy we are here to reverse, but rest assured, we will fix it. We have so many marketable things in this country that can attract people to come in. People come to see the back little nesting. They can see 80 nestings in one night. You got to pass the world, they can see one sometimes. We have all those things. But let me tell you, after oil and gas, Mr. President, the next biggest thing we have in this country is Trinidad Carnival. If we can create that same environment, that same opportunity all year round, oil and gas will be secondary to this economy. But we have a project that is going to be as transformational as the development of the Point Lisas industrial estate when I introduced that. We are going to transform this economy beyond oil and gas, tourism, investment, and trade. Business and investments are not burdens. They are the engines of prosperity. And we are sending a clear signal. Trinidad and Tobago is open for business, serious business. Let us never forget, Trinidad and Tobago is the greatest country on earth. This is a first world country in waiting. This is a time for bold steps, not business as usual. The work ahead will not be easy, but it is necessary. We owe it to our people, our entrepreneurs, our youth, and our future. At the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, we intend to move forward together with urgency, with unity, and with unshakable confidence in the greatness of Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
That is Minister of Tourism, Trade and Industry there, Kama Maraj, making a contribution. They're talking about Trinidad and Tobago economy and moving away from the dependency of oil and gas. So we've heard these stories before, but he mentioned turtle nesting and that and attractions like that, but he also mentioned Carnival. He said the biggest thing for Trinidad and Tobago outside of oil and gas, our biggest product is Carnival. It's very interesting that he says that. Synergy TV, through the general manager and myself, as the point man in places like St. Vincent and the Grenadines where we are, we have been traveling and promoting Carnival for every other place on the planet that you could think about. Right? Antigua and Barbuda is up next. We have New York Labor Day. We have Miami Carnival. We have St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have Grenada. We have Barbados. I got a contact for Canada that I have to pass on to the GM to see what could happen. But that also happens, I think, the same time with Antigua and Barbados, if I'm not mistaken. Or it happens the same time with one of the carnivals. So I don't know how we go split it if we get through. You have Notting Hill Carnival. All of these other people who would have reached out to us. But it's just a matter of logistics and that kind of thing, right? But you notice in all the promotions that we do, Trinidad Carnival on the list, right? And I'm saying that from like a partnership standpoint. Yesterday, I met up with Hans John. Hans John is one of the top artists here in St. Vincent and Grenadines. He know how long I come in here, right? He's one of the fellas that one of the artists that I communicate with and that kind of thing. I bounce up with Hans John. Hans John and I talking yesterday in an interview, and we'll see if we could have it ready for you for tomorrow or whatever. He says, Stefan, you know what we need to do? We need to honor you. I say, me? He say, yeah. He said, now you coming here to promote Vinci Carnival, you know. It's since 2017 or 18 or some kind of thing, so, you know. He say, and look what the carnival reached to now. It has grown. You understand what I'm saying? And there are other people that they bring in to promote it and that kind of thing, right? But I'm just saying, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they understand, as well as the other Caribbean islands, the importance of promoting carnival. So Kama Mirage, in the context of having a project, because he said, why can't we create that all year round? Well, you can, but here's your problem, Kama. The first thing you have to do, and I hope this is on the list of things that you all have to do in terms of projects, you have to make airfare to Trinidad and Tobago more affordable. I'm waiting to see if they're going to mention that, you know, because the price of tickets to come to Trinidad and Tobago for a carnival period is totally ridiculous. That is one. We have to make it, you see, we have to make it affordable. Affordability is one thing. One of the things that I could tell you, sitting right here, right now in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this is one of the most affordable carnivals that you could come to. For some reason or the other, alcohol is way cheaper up the islands than it is in Trinidad. A bottle of White Oak is 25 EC. About $60 TT. But in Trinidad and Tobago, it's over $100. When you go to a fete, we pay $10 for a vodka and cranberry. $10, eh? Now, it's more vodka, but I nothing. It's an absolute. But I just Stoli Schneider guy. I like Stoli and Tito's. But nevertheless, I'm just saying 10 EC. That is 20, let me say 20 something dollars. You go any fete in Trinidad and Tobago, you pay about $40 or $50 a drink. Right? I'm just showing you the little price differences and that kind of thing. And a lot of it had to do, I think, with the taxes and so on and so forth. But my point is, up the islands, these things are very, very affordable. I couldn't believe the price of some of these tickets to go to some of these feds. And when you come back to Trinidad and Tobago once again, high pricing again. And we're pricing so high that we're going to price ourselves out of the market sooner or later. The only thing saving us is that we are the best carnival in the world, hands down. Right? Hotel, accommodations, and so on and so forth. Every single room sold out here, you know. It gets so, it was sold out to the point, this carnival, Vincy Mas, 2025, that I was told yesterday or day before, mattress and all sell out. You understand why I'm telling all you? Mattress without bed sell out. People started to order mattress, people would guess out something, because people were coming in. And because all the rooms sold out, the only thing that they could have come up with is we go buy mattress and put it on the ground for them. And they go sleep. Mattress sell out. So Carnival, in the context of what Kama Mirage is saying, is a huge product, which we have not properly capitalized on. Imagine St. Vincent and the Grenadines, whose Carnival has grown into what it has grown into now, right? Especially coming back from a recovery period with the Hurricane Beryl, I think it was last year, which took the Carnival away from them. That's why we weren't here last year, right? They will see a profit. Antigua and Barbuda will see a profit through tourism. Barbados will see a profit. Every other carnival on the planet is profitable except Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. We have the only carnival where the NCC will spend 150 million and then report a loss. Anyhow, let me go to the phone line quick. So I hope they're going to structure this thing properly. I hope they're going to look at the right people for the right job. And I hope they know what they're doing. Because if they want to create a product like that, I will support them fully. You understand? Because I've said it. We are supposed to be the entertainment capital of the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago. We have the infrastructure. We have everything laid out for us. Kes is our man. Kes. I have heard Kes on stage for years saying, we have culture. This culture is the greatest oil and gas. And we don't capitalize on it. I have heard Kes refer to that on stage. I remember I hear him, I think it was in Bishop's Fete long time, when it used to be all-inclusive, when we used to cover it. And I hear Kes say that on stage and I say, yeah, boy. You understand? And to date, no government has capitalized on the product of Carnival for Trinidad and Tobago. We always losing. Something is wrong somewhere. Hello, morning. Morning.
Morning, sir. They go Central. How you going?
Yeah, they go Central. Go ahead.
Well, one of the key issues that you with Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago, for it to reach to the point that you're talking about is beds, hotel beds. Just like in Tobago for tourism, we supposed to have a certain amount of beds in order for the larger airlines and so forth to bring more flights into the country, as well as taxes when the planes land. There's a number of things. You understand? So beds is one thing. Now, don't be mistaken. Carnival, nothing is available. Or every and anywhere that have a bed for rent or hotel room for rent for Carnival is sold out. Is sold out.
This year Carnival was huge. A lot of people came in.
Yeah.
But how are we losing? How are we losing?
Because we lacking beds. And they're saying they're losing, but you know everything in Trinidad is
they always reporting a loss. They always say they lost money for Canada. Right?
They always lose it.
Or they break
even. Understand? We go see if they go make our money under this new administration. But the thing about it is we lacking beds. Not just 100 beds, thousands of beds. They need more hotel rooms. They need more bed and what they call the smaller ones.
Bed and breakfast, B&Bs.
Yeah. Airbnb. No, they have a lot of people investing in it, but because you need support, you need tourism to get involved to say, okay, we need to get 100,000 beds. We need to get 10,000 beds because you need commitments from all the airlines. Caribbean Airlines is the main airline bringing people in, you get the normal American
Yeah, but
airline flight, but they're not adding. Yeah, but they're not adding flights to the route because of the same reason, lack of beds. We need beds in order for Carnival to grow in Trinidad and Tobago, in order to get more people in order for the product that we have. But it's a holistic thing. It starts from the government into the tourism department, into NCC, through the airlines and the hotel community as a whole. Because we need the beds in order for people to come in. And for years they're talking that just like diversification.
Yeah.
You understand? So
All right.
once these things are met, it could grow.
Okay.
Thank you, Stefan. Have a good one.
No problem. Yeah. We have cruise ships coming in as well. A lot of the look last night, the after party for Oxygen, the biggest band in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the after party was on the cruise ship. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Stefan.
And I think there was a cruise ship that came to Trinidad for this carnival as well. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me talk a little carnival. You see, you have a lot of contacts out there. What you should try to do is to get your contact TV stations abroad to network with us to help to promote our carnival. That's point one. Point two is that there need to be a package between airline and hotels to bring people for a 1 week stay in Trinidad for carnival. And that package could include airfare, accommodation, blah, blah, blah. You understand? I remember, Stefan, in the early days, we used to pay $60 TT to go Barbados for a week. Maybe they could try that kind of concept and woo tourists to Trinidad and Tobago. And a lot of people will be interested in investing in like bed and breakfast and them kind of thing.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
So all of that is possible.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. But a lot of people have told me, I hear all there, but a lot of people have told me affordability to come to Trinidad and Tobago, the ticket price, that price to come TNT for Carnival. When they weigh that out and then they have to pay X amount of money for a costume, people just put aside the real money just to come to Trinidad for Carnival, you know. But I'm saying if you make it a little more affordable, you're going to win, you're going up with way more people coming into the country. Morning. But then again, we had to find place to put them. Yeah.
Good morning, Stefan. How are you going, man?
I cool, and I understand, well, Barakpo, you might be a man to talk to this. I understand the South Carnival, especially Juve, is growing into a huge thing. A lot of South people don't bother to come uptown to play Juve again because the Juve is so nice in South now.
South Carnival was always a more friendly, people-centered carnival in a Stefan farm.
Okay.
Because Lion Jagasa and these fellas had South Carnival covered in a way that it was like kind of family-oriented thing. You know? Everybody from the whole South used to be there.
Okay.
You understand? But let me tell you something. You right now, you visit a couple of places and things. What you noticing a lot that you ain't seen much again in Trinidad compared to all these other places that you're visiting.
That you don't see much of again?
Yeah, you're seeing to the volume that we used to see long ago in Trinidad compared to what you are seeing now in these other carnivals that you are visiting. The people who we just really call tourists, the white and the European people. What we have in Trinidad and Tobago that is coming into Trinidad is
Caribbean people coming back home to play mass.
Is our people who live in abroad come back for carnival.
Yeah.
When, let me say 10, 15 years ago, when you go carnival in Port of Spain and South and thing, you would see the vast amount of what we will call
foreigners, white people.
tourists,
Let me
white
just say it
people.
plain as day, white people.
You
Go
understand?
ahead.
You ain't seen that as much again. And the reason why is because of our travel advisory now is telling us here what?
That's a good
Don't
point.
visit this place.
That's a good
This
point.
place is crime ridden. Don't go to the city. You can't walk in the city. And that is, pull up right now Trinidad travel advisory from Europe or the States, and then you go see they're listing the city, Port of Spain, as a crime-ridden hotspot for tourists. You understand?
Yeah.
So if that is not a deterrent, and you see this thing about bed space and thing, that nonsense. Dismiss that one time. People just book flights not based on bed space. They just book flights way beyond. People don't book flight this year for next year, carnival and all kind of thing in other countries. And that don't have nothing to do with how much bed space you have in this country. Once you book a flight with any airline, you entitled to leave your country to come to this country. And if you had to sleep on either bridge, you go sleep on a bridge. That's your business. You understand? If you want to go and book in a luxury hotel like Hyatt or somewhere and thing, well, that based on occupancy, if you get through, you get through. But that don't have to say that it have anything to deal with the amount of flights compared to the bed space you have in your country. So that's ridiculousness. What we could sell out in this country and to the max, you see Golden Grove rooms and Frederick Street room, we have that full occupancy all the time. And that's what we are selling in this country. But to sell Carnival, we had to reinvent this wheel now and start to, like what Kama Maharaj was saying, and start to really promote this thing. Not because you just sing Calypso, that means to say you could sell Carnival, you know.
Exactly.
Some of the greatest managers of football, they never kick a lime yet, you know.
Exactly.
Ferguson and these fellas, so we have to think a little differently, you know. Have a good morning, Stephen.
Yeah, man.
Enjoy your day. And remember them two-legged one-hand bandit.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Later.
Yeah, man. There was something he said inside of there that brought something to my head, but I'll see if I could. I kind of lost it in the next comment when he went into the beds and that kind of thing. But there was something, boy. Hello, good morning.
Stefan, morning.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make profit in the Carnival because this is the racket capital. This is the place nobody don't make jail and things. So when they put a man in charge of something, he's looking to make a profit for himself. Have a pleasant morning.
All right, cool, no problem. Wait as I was going to say, boy, it had something there, you know, it was a real important point, you know, and I lose my frame of thought. Let me go again. Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, morning, go ahead.
Yes, Stefan. But Barco always on the nail, you know. Proper planning. We have everything here. But I want to ask some question concerning all of that. When Carnival finish, you get one Carnival, it's real decades of Carnival. Anybody who have Carnival or any part of out of Trinidad and Tobago is from Trinidad, they find it. So we are the Mecca, as we know that. What I'm saying, when Ash Wednesday come, and the whole, and we from Ash Wednesday beyond, why we don't even get a report how much money we make, man? No, who does really make the money?
I do not know. There is no, I have never gotten or seen any report as to, well, this is a breakdown of this is, you know, this was what Carnival brought in.
Correct is right. This is what we are talking about. This is what we want a foundation of business with Carnival is concerned. Oh God, it does hurt me, man. It does hurt me to know that we have a product Carnival. Carnival was just like the oil, you know. Oil, that was that dry oil, you know. Now whining oil, we talking about that. We could, man, you know, everybody in Trinidad and Tobago should be walking on carpet, you know, not jumping pothole, you know. You understand what I mean? Through Carnival alone. So, Stefan, we need proper planning. People who know about the business, they catch your thief in, jail you. That's all. Have a nice day.
Right, no problem. Yeah, oh God, but you know what? The point I wanted to make, boy, it had something, you know. It had something to do with the other islands, eh? When Barakpo asked me that, boy, I really trying to remember, you know. Good boy, I can't remember, you know. I lost it, you know. I go remember it sometime during the course of the show, and I'll bring it back before I close. Once is before we close the show. Hello, good morning.
Morning, different phone.
Yeah, man. All right.
You see, we need to change the way in which we do business. We need to be innovative, and we need to look at things from that perspective that Kama Maharaj say. Foreigners come to Trinidad during the vacation time most of the time for sun, sea, and sand.
Exactly.
And the time that we have Carnival is February, January. But summertime is the time everybody moving out. So we need to have two carnivals. We need to have one for we in January and February, whenever we have it, and one during this summer vacation, as we say. So while Trinidadians go out and foreigners come in, we have something to attract them other than sun, sea, and sand.
Yeah, but then again, we have.
Convert the house.
But we also have Tobago Carnival now in October. Eh?
I know. Look where you are. What time of the year for Carnival? Why people going there?
July, yeah.
Right, so we need to have carnival in such a way now that it will do that. That is what we call tourism, because if that is the main product, we must have it in a time that is attractive so that people have the time to come. People plan for summer vacation.
Okay.
So they come all over the Caribbean. People travel all over the world. So we have to make here the destination. We need to change. We need to look at things differently. And if we don't start doing that,
I think we
will
could.
be same old.
Can we not market Independence Day?
Well, all that too. You see, we need to be innovative. I mean, you have a thought, others have a thought. Let me look at it. Let me look and see when people will be available to come to us.
Okay.
People shop during the weekend. They don't shop Monday to Friday. People working.
I mean,
But
at the end of the
Saturday
day,
and Sunday, people out in stores.
the reason why
So
I mentioned
we need to look at
Independence,
things.
yeah, the reason why I mentioned Independence Day is the July 4th, not a huge day in the United States of America. The whole world know about July 4th. The whole world.
In Barbados, it's crop over. So
No, I can't.
everybody market it
Well,
back.
their carnival is crop over, yeah.
Yeah, so we had to look at the time. We had to change the time. We had to look at everything. People may say I'm talking nonsense, man, but think about it.
Okay.
And when we do that now, when will we get people to come to us? Because if you have a business, you need the customers to come to you.
Okay. All right.
And this is why the mass moving to America and Miami, because the Trinidadians carrying it there.
Okay.
And we need to look at that. Shift it back to Trinidad.
No problem.
You have a
Yeah, man. Yeah, my point is, as I hold up on the phone calls for now, we'll get back to the phone calls after the break because we have some footage from Mardi Gras yesterday as well. Look, I just mentioned Independence Day as another marketable day on the Trinidad and Tobago calendar. Of course, you have all these other cultural holidays like Indian Arrival Day, Shouter Baptist Day, Emancipation Day, this and the other. But those are specific to specific things and ethnic groups and so on and so forth. But Independence Day is a national day. Yes? And everybody comes out in either they're red, they're white, you know. But I like I say, my favorite color is black, so I go wear black. I'm glad black is on the flag. Anyway, you wear national colors and so on and so forth. There are a lot of events that take place during Independence Day, especially I think the morning before there are fetes. Things happen, but we just market it as a day rather than possibly a longer period of time, like a week. So I could see you're having a week of activities leading up to Independence Day, which is the big hurrah, right? That you could possibly turn it into a tourism product as well, Independence Day. I've always told people that, we don't market Independence Day like, that's why I said the United States of America, who celebrated their independence just recently. July 4th is Independence Day in the United States of America, and they market it as that, as a big thing. So I would not be surprised, everybody come out, they do the thing. I've never been up there for a July 4th. I don't know what it's like up there for that, but I've seen, I've seen enough of the celebrations and so on that take place on that day and some of the things that goes on that day, right? But that's a marketable day for them, Independence Day, right? And we could make independence in Trinidad and Tobago extremely marketable, where we turn it into a profitable product. Now, I don't know what Kama Mirage and they have in mind. He said there's a project, and when they launch it, people go ball, right? Because we have so much different cultures in Trinidad and Tobago that just, we have a melting pot. And we have so much cuisine, local cuisine, that people, that's another thing. Look at food. People marvel over Trinidad and Tobago food. Marvel over it, the way, the seasoning in the food. Hey, talking about food. Let me rock back in this chair. It's comfortable. It's getting sleepy. Right? Yesterday, as I go to the break here, yesterday, I went into VJ's for lunch during the slow, but it was a little slow period in the carnival, right? It was in the day. So we say, look, let me go and eat our lunch before the thing pick up, right? And it pick up in evening time and thing, right? I go into a VJ's, boy. I ate lunch, but it wasn't a lunch, eh? VJ's. I have searched the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. Even in the mother kitchen, right? My grandmother, Marjorie Raghunath, used to make a Accra, fed up talk about Accra. All you know how much I love Accra. Right? And at the age of 48 now, I could tell you, my grandmother, God rest her soul, Marjorie, it had nobody on the planet could make a Accra like Marjorie Raghunath for me. The texture, the crispy finish, the flavor on the inside, everything. Yesterday, I walked into VJ's. I had to come quite St. Vincent and the Grenadines to go into VJ's. And anytime you're in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you go VJ. They call it saltfish cake over here. Right? But when I see it in the showcase yesterday, I said, what is that? Accra? They said, I saltfish cake. I said, saltfish cake? I said, but I Accra. Mario ended up buying out the whole thing. He asked them for a portion, and when they take out the portion, he said, no, I want all. So we buy out the whole showcase Accra. Everything that was in the showcase, we buy it out. Brother and sisters, when I bite into that Accra yesterday, that is the closest, if not the exact, texture, taste, everything, like my grandmother owned. I will fly out here to buy the Accra. I'm telling you. It's the greatest Accra I taste since my grandmother Accra. Right? So I had to big up VJs for that. Nevertheless, well, everybody eat out it, you know, so I only get about 4. But that nothing. Sharing is caring. All right? After we buy out all the Accra in VJs yesterday. All. And that was with no, I had to tell VJs though, put a little container, a little tamarind sauce. Because like they know about that out here. So they get Gesso now. But Gesso, without the tamarind and thing, tastes real good. Put a little tamarind sauce with it, you're bad. You're bad. I'm telling you. That is how you make Accra. Anyway, I had to mention that. So, we're going to take a little break here, but before we go to the break, Seth Wyall aboard. Seth has the Holistic Health Clinic, and it's powered by nutritional therapy. So why manage our disease when you can reverse them naturally? And they specialize in reversing cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, digestive disorders, hypertension, and more. Drug-free, supplement-free, root cause healing through nutritional therapy. You could call or WhatsApp 2793935 or 7611952. Book your appointment today and rebuild your health from the inside out naturally. Also, I want to remind you about Chef Shiraz. Chef Shiraz has several different courses starting from the 21st of July and all the way to the 9th of August. They include food and the food, restaurant and catering workshop, the summer kids cooking classes, the certificate in culinary arts, the baking and pastry, and the creative international cuisine. Ramsing Plaza Chaguanas is the place, and to get yourself registered and find out more, give him a call on 3724639 or 7375097. That is Chef Shiraz. And finally, Open Minds Education. So parents, if you're looking for something meaningful for the children this summer, this is it. Open Minds is back with their online summer camp. It's more than just worksheets and lectures. From the 21st of August to the 15th of August, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to noon, your child will be learning math, grammar, and creative writing live on Zoom. No drop-offs, no traffic, no hassle. Just smart learning from the comfort of your home. And spots are limited, so WhatsApp them now on 388-6635. And with that, we take a break. When we come back, we'll get back to the phone line and we'll show you what Mardi Gras looked like yesterday. Stay tuned. This is the wrap-up for St. Vincent and Grenadines Vincimas 2025.
conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerators, parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595 to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Most popular psychic and spiritual healer, Master Santosh Ji. Are you worried about the problems in your life? Are you facing problems in your relationship? Do you have problems in your job or business? Are you facing health issues? Then the only solution. Master Santosh Ji. He is an expert in palm, face, and horoscope reading. Know your future and change the way of your life. He is expert in solving problems related to love, relationship, job, health, finance, sexual, enemy, spiritual problem, many more. He removes all negativity and gives good luck. He is specialist in getting back loved ones and ex-love back. Get an effective solution for all your problems. Call Master Santosh Ji at +1 868-384-3844. Located in all over Trinidad and Tobago.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle from the first restaurant in 1968 when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Lisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Lisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Lisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Lisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
In 1956, he exploded onto the Calypso stage with and for 50 plus years, the magnificent Mighty Sparrow ruled the world stage with hit after hit. Be part of an unforgettable night as some of his younger proteges take the stage like Roddy McIntosh, Chuck Gordon, Devon Seal, KB Charles, Terry Lyons, Pink Panther, Oscar B, and Luther to say thank you, Sparrow.
That's all, that is all, that is all.
And San Fernando, because you asked for it, you got your wish. Thank You Sparrow is now South and North. Saturday, 26 July, Sapa, and Thursday, 31st, the day before the holiday, Napa. Showtime, 6 p.m.
And the Mighty Sparrow himself have asked that the first edition tickets at $75 off be extended until his 90th birthday, this Wednesday, July 9th.
For more info, call 491-1802.
Thank You, Sparrow.
All right, so we're back on Breaking Dawn, just about 7 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And as we return, I just want to share with you some of the highlights from Mardi Gras 2025, which is, otherwise, well, for us, Carnival Tuesday. Oxygen, and I think it was Mirage, the two biggest bands in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and yep, they had their people out, man. The streets were full, and the masqueraders enjoyed themselves. This was actually around kind of about 2 o'clock or so. Sun was blazing hot, boy. Right? They got great weather. They didn't get any rain yesterday, and every day we hear rainfall except yesterday. Got that, eh? You know what I mean? But the streets of Kingston was full with masqueraders, from several bands. There is also, when we got there, we saw a lot of children playing mass as well. Some of the kid carnival bands. We caught them in Victoria Park while they were crossing the stage there. But my point is this, I did ask Ezzy, I say, Ezzy, the children has come out on the same day with the adults. And what was explained to me is that the bands, all these bands have their children carnival bands, right? And they have the option, some of them have the option, if they want, the children could play carnival on the same Monday and Tuesday as the adults. So some of them bring back all the kids on the Carnival Tuesday as well, but we caught them at Victoria Park. I like the little look with the palm trees and thing in the background there, boy. Yeah? A little Miami, that kind of Miami finish there, boy. Right? Also, VC3, which is the network here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they, much like we do at Synergy TV, and I'm looking forward to asking the government about that when I get back home. VC3 has a stage similar to our stage is, a little bigger and thing, but yeah, they have a kind of little stage with a nice little backdrop and stuff. It's a different design to what we do, but it would be the equivalent of something like the Synergy stage back home, something that they have adopted from us, and the masqueraders love it on this stretch here before they get to the park, right? So, which is what we do at Synergy TV as well. That product that Mr. Haynes has put out, has gone a long way. Masqueraders, they refer to it as the fun stage. There's a nice shot here. We were actually upstairs, is 52 something. I can't remember the name of the bar. But we went up there. Diego took us up there because he knows the owner, and we were able to get some shots from about 3 floors up. But I ain't lying, eh? You have to really, really love that bar to go and drink there. It's about 5 flights of steps you have to go up here. Right, this is the stage here that they put on the road. Yeah, man, similar to the 70. I've now seen the whole thing. Yeah. I didn't really notice the whole thing. But this is the stage that they put on. Very equivalent and very similar to the Synergy stage. And each band, the masqueraders, they cross the stage and they have their fun, for a little bit, and then they move on down the road and they head into the park. So that's basically what we do at Synergy TV as well. We put on that stage, and SE and the CDC they come in every Trinidad Carnival, as you would know. Oh, this is the children here. This is some of the children mass in Victoria Park. That is the bees, oh God, I forget what they call themselves, right? And these are some of the bigger people, the adults. But as you can see, the children were having their time on the same day as well, as some of the bands brought back out the children. And yeah, they cross the stage at Victoria, and they cross it section by section, right? That's how they do it. Just as we do it in Trinidad and Tobago, although some bands, well, mostly on the Monday, everything will just be everywhere. But Tuesday is getting your section and cross the stage, right? So Mardi Gras was packed yesterday. They went until about, what time we left? After 7? It's after 7 when the truck tell the masqueraders and Oxygen, yeah, that is it. The after parties on the cruise ship. After the man take them up a hill, So a woman started to say, well, if that is the case, where you bring me quite up here for? When she could have go straight to the cruise ship now, boy. But the masqueraders, they enjoyed themselves, man. They had some fun. And people came out, boy. When it came down to like after 6, not even after 6, was around 5 o'clock. A little after 5 into the night, boy, you see people on the streets. And of course, they have an extended period here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They'll go until Sunday with the little cool downs and so on and so forth. So if persons are here until the weekend, there is much to do. They will still have little activities and stuff and events to go to and wind down. You know, we unlike our carnival, like somebody mentioned, July, this being in July, our carnival is tied into Lent. So, you know, we on Ash Wednesday, we shut down everything. And well, I mean, it have last jam and these things that take place. I do attend that. You know, as a Catholic, when Ash Wednesday reach, I done. I'm not going through that. I'm a 40 days and that's it. But that is Vincy Mas. That was the streets of Kingston. Kingston. Oh gosh, they took us down Middle Street yesterday, boy. Chris, what you thought about Middle Street, boy? You have Middle Street. Oh gosh, it's where they call it Middle Street, Back Street, and I think Front Street. That's the 3 major streets, right? Front, middle, and back. That's what they call it for short, for simplicity now. Instead of calling the name of the street. So he took us across Middle Street to cut through everything to get to Aban, that kind of thing there, you know. But yeah, man, Mardi Gras was our vibes. Yeah, real vibes. The music has been off the charts here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That is the next thing too. You see the music. A lot of people don't know in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. A lot of Vincy producers and artists like Skinny Fabulous and Problem Child, and they write a lot of music that you hear in our local artists singing for Carnival. It have a huge Vincy influence in terms of writing and production and that kind of thing in Trinidad Carnival. But the music here, and I'm telling you, Problem Child had to win Road March. Everybody you ask on the street. So where's the Road March? Fred Horn, boy. Fred Horn, that's the Road March. Which is very interesting because some of our team are saying, but I know a road tune, a Fred Horn, but it's a sing-along. People can sing it, you see. And it catchy, and it relatable. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get news this morning that Problem Child did win the Road March. All right? Nice one. Okay. Do you have the clip with Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves? With Akash Samaru? Yeah. Just check that. You have it? Okay. So I just want to run you this clip here. While I'm in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I might as well cover, you know, a little thing with their Prime Minister, Ralph Gonsalves. Akash Samaru from Guardian Media met up with him at the CARICOM Summit, and he spoke about Prime Minister Modi, and he also spoke about Sean Sobers. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Sister Kamala, but I can understand she had a tiring couple of days with Prime Minister Modi, who is my good brethren. I'm happy to see that she brought the Indian Prime Minister to Trinidad. And I'm not getting myself in your politics, but I'm very happy to see that he has been so specially honored because India is important to us. You know, I visited India myself. The Indian president came to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I know that when my brethren Modi came to Trinidad, he wasn't just thinking about Trinidad, he was thinking about the Caribbean, including St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I have absolutely no doubt about it because he's a visionary. You know, he's a great man.
Described as a father figure within CARICOM.
Yes.
On, I mean, he's a fresh minister, he's new to the politics, and advice you passed on to him?
No, I joke with him. I said, I believe you have to learn when you're in short pants, who's the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and Grenadines. And the answer was Ralph Gonsalves. He said, yeah. So we had good fun. I like him. He's a good young man. He's bright, he's sharp, he's articulate, he's comprehending the issues. I think a great deal of him. My first impression of him is very positive. Yeah, I wanted to meet my sister Kamala, but I can understand she had a tiring couple of days with Prime Minister Modi.
So that is Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves talking to Akash Samaru there. I could tell you from being here, I mean, I talking to people firsthand. Boy, I wanted to leave this for tomorrow, but I had to mention it. Eh, Chris? I had to mention Massey, boy. I had to mention. I can't wait till tomorrow, you know. It is the worst Massey. I don't know what Massey come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to give the people here. I have been told that when they heard Massey was coming, they say, well, okay, they're going to raise the game for supermarkets and so on and so forth in St. Vincent and Grenadines. When I tell you, the Massey here, like a Chinese grocery on the main road in Trinidad. Nah, man. And the point was made that if you go to Barbados or you go to St. Lucia and you walk in a Massey there, it's top of the line. But in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I'm calling out Massey on this, you know, I'm calling them out. We went into Massey. Massey didn't have eggs. When I asked the cashier, I said, well, you know, eggs? She said, it have an egg shortage. That's what she told me. Lo and behold, we got in our next supermarket. Ton of eggs. All on the side of the road, people selling eggs. But Massey had no eggs. If I was living in St. Vincent and the Grenadines permanently, I would never shop at Massey. It is way below standard. I'm telling all you. And I could stand up for the Prime Minister with that one because he mentioned it on our radio program here. I didn't get the interview with him because he had to get off to the CARICOM summit, but hopefully in the future I might get a little interview with him. I'll work with the guys at the CDC. Right? And I hope that our government works towards solving, forget about who say what and when they say it. The issue with St. Vincent and the Grenadines paying us in US dollars and we paying them in TT, if that was happening under Rowley and them, all right. The Prime Minister here, Prime Minister Gonsalves said he mentioned it back in 2018. This is not the first time. So maybe we need to track back, check those records. Well, I don't think he's going to lie and say it and say, look, I said this in 2018, right? I don't think he has a problem with the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the changeover, nothing like that. But I think he wants his problem solved just like everybody else. You got to remember, a lot of people tried to deal with the last administration. If you listen to what Kama Maraj was saying there, it had investors wanted to invest in Trinidad and Tobago, they never had a meeting with them. So the kind of courtesy that was extended to people felt it was difficult for people to deal with that last administration. And sometimes when you're the head of another country and you're part of CARICOM, you don't want to be controversial in the sense of coming out and taking up, getting into the politics of another country, right? And I think with the changeover, he said what he said, hoping that it gets the attention in Trinidad and Tobago of the government so that they could have that problem resolved. Because I speak to people here, you know. Nobody had a problem with the government in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. They're actually glad for the change. But there are some things that have to be resolved, and that is one of them. Right? That and Massey, all I do people are St. Vincent and Grenadines better than that. We went into a normal supermarket here, and it had way more variety. I go on looking for ketchup. So what are you looking for? I'm looking for the pack of ketchup that is coming, like the Swiss pack. We get this turny thing, right? The Massey, man, none of that. They're selling bottle ketchup. You understand what I'm saying? No variety whatsoever. I tell you, if you come here and you walk into Massey here, you will walk out. You wouldn't believe I'm Massey. So whoever walk in Massey back home, I saying it very, very clear. I ain't speaking for the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and Grenadines. I'm speaking from my experience. You understand what I'm saying? Horrible. Where we shop after that? The normal supermarket center? You're not going back there? You must be mad. I don't vex hard was to buy a bag. I packet it luggage, you know. I taking it home, you know, Chris. I taking it home. Yeah? I ain't leaving it here. They don't give you no plastic bag. Right? You see, like in Trinidad and Tobago, you know, your massy bag, I know they came with that policy with the massy bag and then, you know, plastic and all kind of thing. They won't get a plastic bag because it's bad for the environment. But every item or 90% of the items on the shelf coming in plastic. Made absolutely no sense. Still makes no sense. Right? But here in St. Vincent and Grenadines, they don't get a plastic and massy. So you had to buy a bag. We had to buy a bag because we didn't have nothing else to put the groceries in. Because we no reach the Wednesday. You understand? We couldn't walk out the place sooner. Right? So we had to buy a bag. I tell you. I mean, it's had to buy the little plastic, the other grocery, normal supermarkets, the local supermarket we went into, when we make the groceries, we stand up, me and Chris waited now. We waited on the bar to bag the goods. Only to be told you had to pay for the plastic bag. So no problem. There was plastic bags. Right? But no problem. No problem with that. Right? Let me just take a few calls very quickly here. We got Pastor John coming up in a little bit. I have 6 minutes to take some calls, but I'm calling out Massey on that one. And I'm making an appeal to the government back home to resolve that problem with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because I never knew, and I'm sure a lot of people did not know, that we do 65 million US a year in trade with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yeah? Morning.
Hello, good morning. Calling from Tobago.
Yeah, Tobago, go ahead.
Yeah, you're talking about tourism.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we come down to Trinidad to do our business, it is costing over $400 a night to stay, the cheapest place.
Well, look at that.
Imagine we coming down to stay 2 days, or for a medical procedure or something, and your family had to come. The expense alone will be over $2,000-$3,000. And they're talking about tourists coming in to stay where? And we can't even come Trinidad to stay for 2-3 days and say, well, all right, it will cost me $250 a day. Be reasonable.
Yeah.
And we're talking about bed and breakfast, you know. You still have to fight up to buy things.
Okay.
Anyway, the next thing I call you about, I get no call from the Minister of Health or nothing, and in Tobago, in real chaos here, the bulletin come out there, want nobody coming in because the surgical and the male medical, everything full up and cancelling one set of surgery and things. So I don't know what's going on.
All right. See, I get a contact for him, boy. All right.
All right, have a blessed day, son.
No problem, man.
And all you be safe up there.
Yeah, we safe, man. We safe. Don't fight.
I ain't no fight, no shooting, and big carnival.
No, I didn't have anything. Incident free.
No kidnapping, no nothing.
No, nothing like that.
So what I'm doing there? We had a Trump and follow suit by.
All right, man. Yeah, that's a good way to kind of get me to mention that again. Up to this morning, based on all reports, no incidents. Morning.
Morning, Stefan. Hi. First time caller to your show.
Hi, welcome.
I'm listening to you with Carnival. I've been a designer back in the day, and I'm going to tell you something. If you observe the marketing strategy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they have the old-time mass style with staffs and different things, and then they have a mixture of the new coming mass.
Okay.
So what they do, the way they market it, right, is that they have the children also involved. We used to do things like that back in the day. The last time Trinidad promoted a mass similarity to that, what they have there, is when it was with, when they bring sweet tea and tea, and French Revolution.
Okay.
Right? The issue now with Jagason, they keep it family oriented in South. So their marketing strategy is completely different. The problem in Trinidad is from the top. The board have to know how to do the marketing, how to strategize, how to include the tourism with the carnival board.
Do you think that do you think as a designer, do you think that with McFarlane and Minshall and that type of pageantry and presentation being removed from carnival, I say being removed because these fellas and then pack up shop, and we go into one style of carnival, do you think that hurts the carnival from a tourism standpoint in terms of what one of the callers mentioned, in terms of why people come into the carnival then? I'm going to put it that way.
Correct.
Whatever you was mentioning.
Correct. Yes, it has.
Okay.
Right? We have gone on and we have mistaken two major mistakes. We have taken a Rio Carnival and followed that patterning instead of going with our natural culture. Tourists come to see what a country itself presents, not what somebody else has.
Correct.
So the pan is what you will see most of the white, if you notice, white people will quicker go. The few white people that come in will quicker go and play powder and mass.
It's true.
And listen to the pan and listen to certain things and go to the old school, how to say, like when the Midnight Robbers and all them come out.
Yes, it's true.
You wouldn't, right. So we lack that, and thereof the also too, the crime also too has, and the advisory according to
Huge part to play.
Out.
Yeah.
He is correct. That also has a part to play in it. But for us to bring back our carnival, we have to have serious people on board. The people have taken carnival into a business structure and not into love of our culture. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Making money is one, but loving our culture is another.
A totally different
right?
thing, yeah. Okay.
Right. And beds have nothing to do with it, Stefan.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where they go, Martin, not Central, when I don't know where you went to that one, but that thing.
Nah. I know they go Martin, so don't worry about it. I understand what you're saying from a marketing structure, but people will couch surf, sleep anywhere once it's carnival.
Once it's carnival.
No, we have a problem where we're not marrying the two, which is tourism. Our marketing is very poor. I would say that.
Yeah.
We only have local coming back, right?
Correct.
When Tribe was introduced, Tribe was a section in Poison,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then it went away and it came back from Miami. When it came back from Miami, Tribe had particular, I could go into this whole day, but we don't have whole day. But I could tell you this much. Nothing is wrong with Tribe. Nothing is wrong with what they bring. But you have to keep the Peter Minshall, and you have to keep the Barbarossa, and you have to keep that kind of mass. As you see, St. Vincent have staff, fan, different things to keep the culture.
Yeah.
And on the note, and I have to sound a little bit biased here, but St. Vincent is a lovely island, and I love the blackfish and the cassava dumpling. That is the bomb, right? One of the things that is nice. But Vinci and smaller islands have kept the traditional order.
Very much so.
Right? Even Barbados have kept it. We have lost it because people only studying the money part of it. It's
Correct.
not about a business, but also you can marry the business and the culture.
Okay.
And the tourists will come in 100% for that.
All right, no problem.
Else.
Thanks
and
a
I
lot.
agree with you. We need to market our cultures, meaning to say, how you said, with the Independence Day, we have, you said, a very wide range of food. Why we don't have a food day? And bringing people from all over the world to taste our food.
That's right. Food festivals. Yep.
Years ago, we used to have something like that in the National Stadium.
Okay.
And all the chefs all around used to come, and you could go and sample, and you buy a ticket, and you sample, and you taste from each restaurant, each person, and try their food.
Okay.
Where that gone?
All right, thanks a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much.
All right.
All right.
All right, so I got to hold up there. We got Pastor John coming up. But all great points raised there by the caller. Food festivals, that's another way. Chef Shiraz, look at Chef Shiraz. Chef Shiraz went down in Guyana the other day just for one. They invited him there. He wants to put on one in Trinidad and Tobago as well. And while we're on food festivals, what about from the tourism aspect in terms of business? What about the hotel school that was shut down? That hotel school was shut down. That hotel school can be reopened And the same way like the medical schools and the sporting facilities and so on and so forth that could have brought in some level of tourism, the hotel school does the same. We could have people coming into Trinidad and Tobago, studying the culinary arts. And we shut that down. All these things need to be reopened in order to jumpstart or kickstart or restart or start the tourism sector and take it to heights that it's never been before. Every other island in the Caribbean, tourism is their economy. We are so blessed that we have oil and gas, that we get comfortable with just oil and gas, and we have neglected tourism and all the products that we have to encourage it. So we need to get going with that. So I look forward to see what Kama Maraj has to offer, and let's see what this project is when he launches it, and hopefully it's soon. We got to take a break. As we go to the break, Steel Force Caribbean Limited. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, located at number 46, lot 6, number 47, lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal. They're your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication. Full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details, fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set at API standards, and they offer a wide range of services for residential, commercial and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. You can give them a call on 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, reinventing the standards on how we handle steel. And we also want to remind you about Eden Heights. That's right, Eden Heights Clinic, one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. You can get your prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, limb bagging, nutritional programs, oxygen baths, and more. And consultation services include live blood analysis, diabetes, child counseling, supplements, detox programs, arthritis, heart disease, high blood pressure, and more. Check them out at any one of their 3 locations. They're located in Trin City, Chaguanas, and Tobago. And you can give them a call on 640-8985 or 613-7571. You could also WhatsApp them on 4939196 or email them at edenheightsdistributors@gmail.com. With that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Pastor John is up next. Stay tuned.
In 1956, he exploded onto the Calypso stage with and for 50 plus years, the magnificent Mighty Sparrow ruled the world stage with hit after hit. Be part of an unforgettable night as some of his younger proteges take the stage, like Roddy McIntosh, Chuck Gordon, Devon Seal, KB Charles, Terry Lyons, Pink Panther, Oscar B, and Luther to say thank you, Sparrow.
That's all, that is all, that is all.
And San Fernando, because you asked for it, you got your wish. Thank You Sparrow is now South and North. Saturday, 26 July, Sapa, and Thursday, 31st, the day before the holiday, Napa. Showtime, 6 p.m.
And the Mighty Sparrow himself have asked that the first edition tickets at $75 off be extended until his 90th birthday, this Wednesday, July 9th.
For more info, call 491-1802.
Thank You, Sparrow.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle from the first restaurant in 1968 when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
To strengthen your immune system, you need to nourish your body with foods rich in antioxidants. Exercise regularly and build your immunity with supportive nutrients. That's why the experts at Jameson created products for immune support made with pure ingredients. For 100 years, Jameson has helped take care of you and your family. At Jameson, your wellness will always be our goal. Jameson, here for your health.
We're back on Breaking Dawn, 22 minutes away from the hour of 7 o'clock. 22 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. I want to remind you about Flow as we get prepared. We prepare to be joined by Pastor John out in New York. We want to remind you that you can get non-stop protection with Armor Security with 24/7 monitoring, instant alerts, motion sensors, and rapid response. You and your loved ones stay protected day and night, powered by Flow. That is Armor Security in partnership with All Pro Security and protection that moves to your beat. Visit discoverflow.co for details. All right. Pastor John there? Okay. All right. So we're just waiting on Pastor John to join in with us right now. I also got to tell you about Jameson. Who is that? Got Jameson there for me. That breeze blew it real hard outside. All right, so Jameson, reminding you to boost your immune system with Jameson immunity products to fight off the seasonal sniffles such as their cold fighter with echinacea. All right? The cold fighter with echinacea, vitamin C chews with the honey lemon flavor, and for additional support, try their delicious vitamin D3 chews and ultra strength zinc. All right? Chew, fight, and feel amazing with Jameson trusted vitamins and minerals. Understand? He's saying that. Okay. Oh, God. All right, so here we go. I'm going to send this to the pastor here, and we get things started. Why isn't he that? We have no idea. Okay, all right. All right. So we're going to get things going with Pastor John, but interesting conversation this morning as usual with a lot of the callers who made some very significant points as well. As it relates to carnival, tourism, things like that, I think that's a sector we need to start taking seriously. But more importantly, the ease of doing business has to be easy. And it was made very difficult under the last administration. And that is facts. I don't think anybody could dispute that. Nobody in the business sector, none of them could dispute that. We had, a lot of business people will tell you that. And they stay silent for the most part. You understand? But you have a government now is willing to move things in the right direction in terms of that. So I look forward to that. And I know a lot of people will look forward to it as well. Right? So I guess we'll see what they have to offer. All right?
Good morning.
Good morning to Pastor John on the inside. So let's bring him in via Zoom as we hit 19 minutes from the hour of 8 o'clock on this final day here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I am going to miss this chair.
It's still in St. Vincent?
Yeah, Pastor John. We're still in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're not seeing you. The director said he's not seeing you. Shut up on the camera if it's not on.
He's not seeing me because I'm just about putting on my camera.
Oh, right. We're seeing you now. We seen you now.
All right.
All right.
Okay, thank.
Good man. All right, so Pastor John is with us. Pastor John, morning to you. So what are we talking about this morning?
So I just came back from Cayman Islands. I didn't even know they have carnival there.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, when I went there, the next day, carnival.
Yeah, Cayman Islands is around the same time with St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I said, I wonder if I go see my boy Stefan.
Huh?
I didn't see you.
No. We had St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Okay.
But I know Cayman Islands was going on because Trini Jungle Juice, which is a social media carnival covering group, one member was here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the other member was in Cayman Islands. So that's how I know Cayman Islands had their carnival going on. But we over in SVG, man. So talk to us, man.
So today I want to talk about cancer. And when you speak about cancer, everyone gets nervous because the medical industry don't want us to talk about it much. I must give the disclaimer that statements made about products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and that this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, mitigate, cure, or prevent any disease. So a lot of people don't know. Well, by now everyone knows that I am a graceful and thankful person to survive cancer. Anyone that could survive cancer in any condition or any disease, as a matter of fact, but the word cancer is such a stressful and mind-boggling situation to take in somebody's life until they get even more sick. So after suffering cancer in stage 4 in the prostate and being in a hospice and given 7 months to live, in a manner of which I overcome it because I did not know nothing much, but until a lady teach me how to transform my system from being dysbiosis. I keep using the words. I hope people Googling it and reading the word to see what it means, because it's nothing new. It's been existing. Dysbiosis literally means a toxic environment, like a garbage dump or a sewer system. Back home, we used to call it latrine. That's a dysbiosis environment. And I really thank God, Mr. Stefan, today, that because of the antioxidant, the lactobacillus, and the bifidobacterium restored back into my system. It took me a couple months, but by December of 2010, they can find no cancer. But in all this year, here's what I have to remember, that cancer cells could come back even years later if you don't maintain an alkaline environment. It does not matter who you are or how rich or how poor you are. The body needs an environment in which to live and to function properly. That's why a strong immune system will prevent cancer from developing in your body. When anyone who don't have cancer right now, just thank God your system is strong enough not for it to show up in your system. Don't ever pray. I don't care who you are. It is make big man cry. You ever see a big man cry yet? If you never see a big man cry, make big people cry. So it starts growing when they develop genetic faults that enable them to hide from the immune system. There's also evidence that tumors can manipulate the environment around to prevent immune cells from attacking the cancer cells. So today, when you see people have cancer or sickness, it did not happen overnight. There's a lot of stuff that keep adding up. It takes years of doing the wrong thing until someday someone diagnoses the person with cancer, and it becomes very, very painful for the person to go through in life. So I want to tell everyone that my website is powerp84.com, POWER, Power, P84.com. I get my website yesterday, so I could give it to everyone now. The Power, P84.com. POWER, P as in Peter again, 84, the number 84.com. PowerP84.com, and you will see that the lactobacillus and the bifidobacterium, the P84, that contain 84 micro-friendly ingredients. 84. 15 probiotic blends in the entire system. That is really, really good for all of us that we need to restore our health. So a lot of people ask, what's the difference between what I'm selling and other people? Because everybody's selling something to drink. Everybody have something. There is 7,000 different network marketing company that making products. The difference maker is the restoration of your lactobacillus and the bifidobacterium back into the system. I'm here for any questions.
All right. Now, I know you've always spoken about cancer, being a survivor and things like that, right? You spoke about the pain that comes with it as well. But in terms of the product itself, right? Once again, this product that you have that has assisted you in, well, somewhat reversing, right? Because this would have been reversed from what, a nutritional standpoint?
Well, when a system is sick, the system have a dysbiosis environment, so you have to restore back in your system 13 vitamins, 16 minerals, 10 amino acid, 1 essential acid fat. Every day, each human being wake up, they need that in their body every day to function properly. In other words, they need gas in the car to run properly every day. So don't care how busy you are, when it need gas, you have to stop and fill up the tank.
Okay.
That's funny.
And what are we talking about? We're talking about reversing the situation?
We're talking about the body was designed with its own ability to heal itself.
Okay, but if somebody is diagnosed with cancer,
yes.
If you are diagnosed with cancer, any type of cancer, and you start taking this product at the earliest possible moment, because I would imagine you have to take it from the earliest possible moment. You can't wait till you reach stage 4 or whatever the case might be, because, I mean, I don't know what stage you were in.
I was in stage 4. I had 7 months to live.
So you were given your death sentence?
That is correct.
Okay.
When it gets to that point,
this wasn't something, your case wasn't one where you were in the early stages. You were in an advanced stage of cancer.
There's very few of us, like Biden get diagnosed with prostate cancer in the 4th stage. That's why I cry when he got it, because I remember myself. That's when they find it. He gets stage 4 straight up. Stage 4. Hit you like a bull.
What about prostate? I mean, prostate cancer. I don't think we've ever spoken about that. We've spoken about cancer in general. I did mention pancreatic cancer the other day, but prostate cancer, in terms of the product.
That's what I had, prostate cancer.
Right.
And
stage 4.
Stage 4. And when you have cancer of any type, but more specifically, prostate cancer, which affecting 1 out of 3 Black Caribbean men will be diagnosed between the age of 45 to 80. So therefore, it's important they even do double checking of themselves. India have the lowest rate of prostate cancer. India, the country of India, have the lowest rate of prostate cancer in the world because of that curcumin in what they eat every single day. That is in this P84, the curcumin, among other stuff they eat. And among other stuff they do. I don't know for the younger people in India, if they live in an American lifestyle and whatever the case may be, when you go Bombay and these kind of places is like America you're going to, because all the fancy stuff. But I know for a fact the countryside people, how they live and everything is way different, and they have the lowest rate in the entire world. Why? Because of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium in your system that helps the antioxidant enzyme to repair itself.
Okay.
That's why the reason why we can't make no medical claim, the FDA don't want us to say that nothing could heal you. But I thank God when the body is clean, the body heals itself. Because every time you go to sleep and you sleep at night and you get in that fourth REM, that's when the body is recharging itself. That's why you paralyze every night for 90 minutes and then you get wrapped here. That's when you're in deep sleep. Even if you're dreaming, you cannot echo to dream because you're paralyzed. You are sleeping. Every single human being, you read it up or ask any medical doctor, anybody with any medical background. That's the process we go through every single day of our lives. And therefore, if the new blood cells you receive every 120 days, every human beings get new blood cells. The problem is, if the blood cells that you receive is bad blood cells or toxic or dysbiosis, that the last 120 days before you were eating a lot of junk, especially when you're from Trinidad, what kill is fattening, and nobody can stop you. And now you produce blood cells that is toxic or dysbiosis, then the body getting sick on its own. So nobody gets sick overnight. Nobody get healed overnight. The body has to go through the process on its own. But it's up to us to put in our system. Like every time you eat, is your choice. You go in the store right now, you go downstairs for breakfast, and then you look at the menu and you choose whichever you want to eat. You have to decide and ask yourself if it feed a disease or if it fight a disease, what you just ate. Because that's what the food is going to do. No food existing in the world, you eat, you remain the same. You either fight a disease or you feed a disease. One out of the two. Make your pick. If you don't care, that's a choice also.
All right.
You just don't care or you just don't need to know right now. So that's basically what it is.
All right. Well, Pastor John, thanks for the time. I want to remind people that if they're interested in getting the product, because the product is available and Pastor John will ship it to you, the number is on the screen. It is 1516-286-7079. That is 1516-286-7079. You can WhatsApp Pastor John today. It is a WhatsApp number. Whether you choose to call him on WhatsApp or message him on WhatsApp, you could place the order today. You could get started. Like I said, from stage 4. I thought was an earlier stage that you had, but you're in stage 4. And,
that's correct.
And it was reversed. And this, of course, all made available because of the alkalining of the body and so on and so forth, as Pastor John has mentioned here in his time. And the website is P84.
No, Power, P-O-W-E-R, Power, P84.com.
PowerP84.com.
Yes.
And what sort of information is on the site?
All the products, the details of what it make, how it make, the source of the organic blends and everything, all vegan ready. Everything is on the site. And if they want to order, they could order on the site or they could call me and I could get them more details.
All right, people. So PowerP84, that is the website. And Pastor John, thanks a lot, man.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, till next week.
Bye-bye.
All right. That's Pastor John on the inside. We're 4 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. We got to wrap up in just a little bit. We do have one more break to take. And as we prepare to go to that break, I just want to remind you one more time about flow. So protection that moves to your beat. Yeah, man. If you're looking for that type of protection, stay protected with Armor Security and sign up for the Protector or Commander package today and get a free security camera and installation. It is Armor Security powered by Flow, backed by AllPro. Visit discoverflow.co for more details. With that, we take our final break. When we come back, we're going to close off. Stay tuned.
Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595 to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
No time to waste this vacation. Join Elders Classes Vacation Bootcamp.
Our vacation program has a wide range of CSEC subjects. Also, this vacation, we have an 8 weeks conversational Spanish course. Tradition allows us at Elders to pass on what we know and what we love.
Drill them this vacation. No kicks. Join your batch.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Most popular psychic and spiritual healer, Master Santosh Ji. Are you worried about the problems in your life? Are you facing problems in your relationship? Do you have problems in your job or business? Are you facing health issues? Then the only solution. Master Santosh Ji. He is an expert in palm, face, and horoscope reading. Know your future and change the way of your life. He is expert in solving problems related to love, relationship, job, health, finance, sexual, enemy, spiritual problem, many more. He removes all negativity and gives good luck. He is specialist in getting back loved ones and ex-love back. Get an effective solution for all your problems. Call Master Santosh Ji at +1 868 384 located in all over Trinidad and Tobago.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Leisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Leisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Leisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal, is your newest choice for steel construction and fabrication, offering full services in engineering and architectural design, structural steel fabrication and erection, pipe details, storage tank details including fabrication of steel tanks and pipes, all set to API standards. They offer a wide range of services in residential, commercial, and industrial clients, and extend services to customers here in Trinidad and Tobago and across across the Caribbean. So give them a call at 490-2771 or 399-7590. Steel Force Caribbean Limited, number 47, Lot 6, Montu Trace in Pinal. Reinventing the standard of how we handle steel.
All right, so we're back on Breaking Dawn, people. But it's about 2 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And, of course, we got to make our way to the airport and fly away from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We did hit a little beach yesterday, though. We went to Indian Bay. Yeah, there's an Indian Bay here, too. Not similar to the Indian Bay back home, but Indian Bay all the same. I don't know why they call it Indian Bay, though. And neither did the driver. The driver didn't know either. I want to big up Chad, our driver, Chad. Who took us, I mean, Chad is a real soldier, but I'll recommend Chad to anybody coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Easy best, the best. All right, so we got a few birthdays. Happy birthday to Christopher on your milestone 8th birthday. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Christopher can't be 8. Come on. You gotta be 80. Lisa Mahabir. This can't, nah, it had to be 80. It can't be 8. Unless he's Benjamin Buttons. Right? So, happy birthday to Christopher. On your milestone, I'm going to say 80th birthday. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Wishing you all God's blessings and many more years of good health and happiness. And this is coming from members of the Magnificent Seven. So happy birthday to you, man. And then we have another 80th birthday and a 57th wedding anniversary greeting. So please wish our husband, father, father-in-law, grandfather, grandfather-in-law, great-grandfather, brother, cousin, and friend, Mr. Wilfred Sega, a blessed and happy 80th birthday. He celebrates it today, the 9th of July. Enjoy your special birthday, and your family wants you to know that they thank God they could spend this birthday with you, together with you. Also wishing their parents, Wilfred and Basdei Sega, a happy 57th wedding anniversary. And thank you both for always being there for us. We love you both. From wife Basdei, children Syra, Sadna, Sharida, Shanta, Sunil, Salida, and Shankar. 5 son-in-laws, 1 daughter-in-law, 5 grandsons, 6 granddaughters, 3 great-granddaughter-in-laws, 2 great-grandsons, 2 great-granddaughters, siblings, cousins, other relatives, friends, and neighbors. All right. Also, your only brother, Alfred Sega, celebrated his birthday yesterday, the 8th of July. So wishing him a belated birthday greeting as well. All right, nice man. And of course, it is glad that you guys celebrated with them and understand that fully. All right. Hey, to the person that posted this, thanks a lot for being a fan. This was from Monday. I know it's looking like I have one of the same clothes, but I have 2 of these gray jerseys. All right. Apparently, somebody posted this video. This was during the Eden Heights interview. They say, look, you know, the host falling asleep here during the interview now. Right? Was I bepping? Yes. Oh, good. That man said that real fast, boy. The man said, yes. All right, I might have been bepping. I might have been bepping. All right? I might have been. But you all have to understand. Hold on. Let me pull it up. I want them to know, you know. This was Monday. I want them to know. Let me get into Ezzy. This is how nice. Vincy Mas had to be real nice, you know, because Trinidad Carnival never do me this. This was. Okay. This was after we hit Happy Mess Cooler Fete on Friday into Saturday morning. Then the Soca Monarch, then brunch and soca Saturday morning, into Flair Saturday evening. From Flair, we went to the Raga and the Soca Monarch, which took us into the wee hours of the morning, like 5 a.m. Then we were up again for Wet Republic, which was another big party on the Sunday. And then we went into the Marsh Gras show, which we didn't leave until the early morning hours. And hence the reason why, if I was bepping on Monday morning, I was bepping. But if you're taking the interview with Eden Nights, I ain't miss a step. All you're laughing. I ain't miss a step. Under all that bepping, I was still able to ask them a few questions. We had a conversation with them, etc., etc. Right. Now and then I am human. All right? Nice. But only enjoy that one. Have a laugh. All right, so we got to wrap things up here from SVG for this carnival season. I just want to say a few things here very quickly. It was a pleasure working with the CDC, working with Ezzy and Ricky and Rodney. It was also a pleasure to attend a lot of the private events this year to see what the private parties are like. I also have to say it was a pleasure working with Chris, Kelmore, Dago, Mario, Jay Hamilton Photography, Trini Jungle Juice upstairs, Andre and Christoph. It was a pleasure sharing the camp with them at this, what's the name of the guest house? Anybody could remember? No, it have a big sign outside it, but nobody knows. Right. It was a pleasure to share the living space here with these guys and to venture out into St. Vincent and the Grenadines with them at these events. And, you know, I mean, we all living in the same place. So what happened is when we go to these events, you know, we all take our line together and that kind of thing, right? We move in together. So outside of the Synergy team, we had those other two teams that, you know, were moving. Well, Jungle Juice is our man. Andre is our man. He does be all over. So he had some other events that we didn't. His schedule was crazy. This morning I get up, I see him sleeping on the couch. He didn't even make it to the bedroom, right? It looked like he made it to the bedroom sometime during, it had to be between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. when I got up. Because when I got up at 1 a.m., my boy fall up on the couch. And then when I came out at 3 a.m., he wasn't there. He was in his room, right? Well, all he wears was in the sink. Because like them fellas and them come home, they eat and wherever, and they're tired and they knock out. So I wash up all the wares and things this morning and take out the garbage. Right? So we not had to see about at all, at least upstairs. I don't know about all the downstairs. Maurice, boy. I gotta say, once again, if you're coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, check out VJ. If you think I'm lying about the Accra, you will see for yourself that Accra, closest thing to ever in the history of Accra Dom that my grandmother used to make. I'm telling you. Also, you can check out where we had breakfast. We had breakfast at VJ's as well. Where else did we eat? We can't recommend anywhere that Kelmore sent us. 360. If you come in, check out 360. And I think we went to the Loft at Cafe Soleil for breakfast yesterday morning. Nice little spot, nice ambience. The wait was a little long though for eggs, but nevertheless, that's the longest ever wait for eggs, boy. But, you know, the sausage. Hell of a, what was it? The hash browns. Best hash browns ever at Cafe Soleil. I don't know how they managed that. It was the best tasting hash browns we've had. All right. Of course, this was Mardi Gras yesterday. The t-shirt mass was huge on the Monday. The Juve was huge the Monday morning. Every event sold out. Congratulations to the CDC and the tourism ministry here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on a terrific job. A great job. I just want to tell Prime Minister Gonzalez, boy, the roads, boy. I know this is something about these roads. They go nearly kill me coming home at night. What was that? The night after the Mardi Gras? Here, that man hit every hole, you know. They go, we in the back of this, a Swift, eh? Imagine 3 big men in the back of a Swift. Right? A Swift, eh? Diego is the smallest out of everybody, but he's the driver. So we couldn't even say we'd have shift him, right, and put him in the middle, so we squeeze up in the back of the swift. And we coming back from the Mashgra sometime in the early morning hours. Diego decided he's taking a shortcut. That shortcut. Let me tell you something. The only thing we can do is fall through the ground and end up in Middle Earth. Because that man hit every hole. It only going badang, 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 and men jumping, so hitting the roof and the back. But such is the case sometimes. I had to tell Diego, slow down, slow down. He said, but it's not me, it's the road. You understand? But all in all, the car survived. So did Diego, who already got out this morning, went to the airport, and he's on his flight by now. We got to do the same. But thanks a lot to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the hospitality. I had forgotten how well they treat you when you come in and you're an invited guest with the procedure in the airport and things like that. I never got to chat with the liaison officer, who usually is the one that I deal with. That is Dazel. I don't know if she messaged me or no. She might have messaged me on my old number. I can't remember. She would not have the new one. But it's been safe. And most importantly, congratulations to St. Vincent and the Grenadines on what has been an incident-free, safe Carnival 2025. Or safe Vincy Mass 2025. And we look forward to being here next year to give them an even greater boost. But for those of you living outside of Trinidad and Tobago, this is a very affordable carnival to attend. It is a very safe carnival to attend. And I tell you, the people here are very hospitable, and you will have no complaints staying in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All right? And when you do come here, as I close, do not do like myself and listen to people like Kelmore, who will turn you off from going down Beckway under the guise of a packed schedule when, you know, they were really sleepy and tired and they wanted to get a rest. And now I've been robbed of a trip down Beckway. I will have to return next year and not make that mistake. I don't wait a whole year. But nevertheless, I'm going to make my way to Beckway eventually. So until tomorrow, people, we will be back in Trinidad and Tobago. Do have a safe and productive Wednesday. We actually have the police joining us tomorrow, along with, I think, Dr. Watson. Maybe I'll have Watson on. I'm not too sure. I might preempt her until next week. But have a safe and productive one. TTPS will be on. They have a 5K and a 7K coming up. They want to talk about that, as well as a couple other things. It's more of a promotional interview for their event rather than dealing with crime and so on and so forth. But we'll do all of that when we touch down in Trinidad later. Have a good one. It was a pleasure. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we will miss you. We out.
Good morning. Welcome to Breaking Dawn.